Hey, boys and girls, I'm Nick in the States, and I've had a bunch of requests to kind of give an update on where Thomann is with shipping Harley Bentons kind of around the globe with regards to the CITES treaties, the treaties prohibiting shipping rosewood internationally without proper papers and documentation. Papers, please! Quick note, if you're living in Europe inside the EU, this really doesn't apply. Thomann ships everywhere in the EU. Doesn't have to worry about crossing a customs boundary because you guys have one customs ecosystem. But if you happen to live in the States or Australia or even European countries or the Soviet Union, Russian Federation, places outside of Europe, this kind of pertains to you. Early this year, January, rules went into effect that limited the shipping of any product containing rosewood. And if you're going to ship those around by parcel service, so UPS, FedEx, DHL, whatever, you need to have proper paperwork that kind of guarantees the origin of the rosewood or guarantees and proclaims that it was produced before the ban went into effect. And in most situations, it's like the farming or an agricultural office that you're able to take your receipts and whatnot to, and will, for a price, do it for you, stamp it, give you the necessary paperwork. So that's kind of the broad reason of what CITES is and the treaty and what's effect. Now, the guitar industry was greatly affected because so many necks have rosewood. So because of that, it really threw a big wrench in the works for that whole thing. What Thomann's policy was is that all of their guitars under €700 or €800, depending on when you bought them, would not ship outside of the EU because of the hassle and the time, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks it takes to get that paperwork back. So now they've got a thing sitting in stock that they can't sell again. Yeah, you've committed your money, but they want to turn over their inventory, especially in the lower end stuff. And that high touch kind of makes the profitability, doesn't seem to make sense. So that meant that there were a lot of Harley Bentons earlier this year that didn't ship outside of Europe. And it was a great travesty, and we all were quite sad. Now, what they've done is, instead of using rosewood, they've used things like roseacer, which is a chemically treated roasted maple. They've used something called blackwood, which I have no idea what it is. And they've used something called Ovangkol, Ovangkol, which is another kind of rosewood cousin, similar type of thing. So those are how they've gotten around it, and it just took them a little while to get through their stock to sell off all their old rosewood ones. But there's still, the theme that I still see in Thomann is a lot of their lower end stuff still has rosewood. So for example, like the DC 580, which is like the $117, €100 one before VAT, that still has rosewood. And as you can see here, here's a good tip away. They're really good about now telling you on the product page, delivery to the United States is not possible at the moment due to CITES treaties. So right there, if you see that on a page, you can't get it. It's kind of as simple as that. Whereas on the DC Custom, kind of higher end, €166, you can actually see that you can add to cart. It does ship here. Ironically, it says it's rosewood, but this one has been replaced with either roseacer or that Ovangkol fretboard. Similarly, things like the low end SC400 SGT, little €83, $98 deal, has a rosewood fretboard, does not ship to the States. Neither does the SC450 BK, kind of their other basic ones, $130. Doesn't ship to the States. But the SC450 Plus, boom, has a blackwood fretboard. Very cool. I like the SC450 Plus a lot. I think the pickups are good. My favorite guitar that I played the most of all the guitars in my collection is my original shape SC450 Plus. Similarly, the SC Customs now also ship to the States, those with roseacer. And of course, the SC550 Paradise now ships in each of its types, the SC550 Faded Tobacco and Paradise. There's a ton more guitars there. I'm not going to go through everything in Harley Benton. But the update is they really have turned over a lot of their line, especially their stuff that's $140, $150 and up, seems to have replaced the rosewood with roseacer, blackwood, or the Ovangkol stuff. Even one of my favorite guitars I got recently was the Rosewood Telecaster. The RW in the name is for rosewood, the matching headstock. It's now a artificial rosewood veneer with an oven call fretboard. So even the Rosewood one doesn't have any actual rosewood to it. Neither does the Strat, both of which now ship to the United States again. So if you were heartbroken, if you couldn't bear not living with one after seeing the beautiful ones that I have and some of the tasty upgrades we did, videos can be found on my channel. They're now available to ship, and they're $150 plus shipping. A reminder that all shipping from Thomann is like 36, 37, 38 euro. You can ship up to 3 guitars for that, or $30, sorry. And you can ship up to 3 guitars for that price, which is quite a good deal when you think about it. Anyway, that's kind of the update, the deal, where things stand today with Thomann shipping out Harley Benton guitars globally. Looks like there's a lot more options available, but if you're really bottom hunting, you know, the $100-ish things, it's a little bit harder pickings there. The other thing they've done is replace the wood in most of the skunk stripe on the Fender style stuff too, so that those are shipping now globally as well. Now, one final note, and I get this question a lot. What about if you're traveling with a guitar? The great thing is you can travel with up to 20 pounds of rosewood, I believe. It's either 15 or 20 pounds. But you can travel with that without having any proof or paperwork for it at all. So that means the 9 ounces of rosewood on any given guitar, unless it's a solid, you know, even at that weight, you could be a solid rosewood guitar and have it weigh 10 or 12 pounds and you still could do it. So your George Harrison Fenders, you still could do those. But yeah, anything in a fretboard you can do. So if you're traveling from Europe to the States or to Australia, I think we had a guy ask the question, you can travel with it. No big deal. You shouldn't get hassled because the law says that you can travel up to 20 pounds of rosewood. Not the item 20 pounds, but the actual chunk old rosewood with you. So with all that, hopefully you find this helpful in this holiday season. I've been Nick in the States. Do take care. And yes, I do have issues.